There's a recipe I want to share with you today. I won't be the only one sharing it. My friends Barry at Sandwiches of History and John, who you may know better as Sandwich Dad, are also making videos about this recipe today. It's a near perfect crossover of our various interests. Barry's interest in historical sandwich recipes, John's frequent use of alternate ingredients and recipe variants to keep things interesting, and my own dull tendency to turn everything into a boring story that I can drone on about for 3 or 4 minutes. So here I go. In May of 1942, just a few months after entering the conflict that would come to be known as World War II, the U.S. government began rationing consumable goods, nominally in an effort to ensure there was enough for both those at home and the ones who'd been sent to war. It started with sugar, then coffee, then meats and cheeses, tinned fish, and milk. Government propaganda urged people to grow their own food at home to help stretch the paltry produce on sale at the store. Victory gardens, they were called. The young people in the working class of that time, the ones we call the silent generation for the most part, and their elders famously called the greatest generation by Tom Brokaw, they were not new to frugality. The Great Depression had just ended a few years before, a decade of scarcity and need. Yet even in the boom times that preceded it, the so-called Roaring Twenties, a newspaper column offering advice and recipes for stretching the family food budget appeared in the nationwide network of newspapers owned by William Randolph Hearst. Prudence Penny's column was not penned by a single author. Rather, a series of impressive women, authors and educators, journalists and home economists, wrote articles under the byline from the 1920s until 1963. We found this particular recipe in the May 22, 1945 issue of the Detroit Evening Times about using eggs to stretch meals under the meat rationing that was still occurring in the closing months of the war. It is called Eggs Benedict. This Benedict calls for fried bologna served on toast, topped with poached eggs, and covered with a horseradish bechamel sauce. It tastes nothing like Eggs Benedict. The bread is wrong, the sauce is wrong, the meat is wrong. If we were to judge it by the yardstick of its name alone, it would fall far short. So let us instead take it for what it is. It tastes of simple buttered toast, an everyday treat. It tastes of fried bologna. I'd like 2 slices on each instead of 1, but we are trying to stretch the budget. It tastes of poached eggs, yolky and luxurious. And it tastes of a creamy, buttery sauce with a hint of horseradish heat. You wouldn't find this on the menu at the Waldorf. They wouldn't make it for you at a kosher deli. But fried bologna with egg and horseradish cream sauce on toast, well, it seems like a perfectly reasonable sandwich to make yourself at home. And I'll tell you what, if calling it Eggs Benedict brings even a flicker of joy to your life, while you feed your family, huddling around a radio, listening to the news and hoping not to hear the name of the ship carrying your cousin, or your uncle, or your father, well, I'm okay with that.